Here's a story about teenagers doing good. Most teens probably don't have to think about the subject of end-of-life care, for goodness sake. Most probably haven't even stepped foot inside a hospice. But a group of students from Abingdon have decided to use their skills to raise awareness about the extraordinary work that's carried out at Sobell House Hospice. The pupils from Abingdon schools say they hope it's going to raise some funds for the charity, much needed, of course. We'll meet two of the filmmakers in a moment, but first, here's a clip from their film and some of the patients that they met at Sobell House.
When you get diagnosed with terminal cancer and you're living an isolated life with only your son for company, you're made to feel as though you become invisible. Whereas here, you're not invisible and you do listen. They're just there for you.
Well, everyone's so happy. It really lifts you.
Freddie Marshall and Charlie Landells are here with me this morning. They made that film. Morning, Freddie.
Good morning.
And morning, Charlie. Nice to see you. Why did you want to make this film, Charlie, about Sobell House?
So our film unit at school had a connection with Sobell, and I think through that connection, Dominique from Sobell raised the idea of making a film to raise money for this new wing of beds, which they desperately need. And Mr. Taylor, the head of the unit, came to us and said, we need students to make this film, and three of us actually put our hands straight up and started a sort of 4 or 5 month long journey through making the film.
And was it something that you'd thought about beforehand, what you were about to go and see? Because it's moving stuff, this, isn't it? It's quite hard to deal with.
Yeah, we had thought about it beforehand, and actually we were very surprised when we got there because, in fact, this hospice was such a joyous and happy place, and I think we really tried to convey that in the film.
And did you get to know those that were in there quite well, the patients that were in?
Obviously, the patients moving through quite quickly, and that's one of the sadder aspects of the hospice. But from a day-to-day aspect, we did get to learn the people we were working with. You know, I think one of the biggest learning curves we had was that filmmaking isn't just behind the camera. You have to create that relationship with the person you're pointing a camera at. And through that, you make a better film. And, you know, talking to the patients and the staff that work there is what gave us this idea that we should make the film focus on the people of Sobell, because at the end of the day, that's what makes it, not the building, but the people inside it.
That's incredibly powerful that you have to build that relationship. Now, that's something that it can take established film directors years to learn, whether you're working in documentary filmmaking or whether you're working with movie scripts, drama. It can take a director years to learn how to build that rapport with people that they're pointing a lens at. And you seem to have picked that up quite quickly. I've got a clip here. You showed your film to Radiohead's, the Radiohead band member, former Abingdon School pupil, ex-alumni of yours, Philip Selway. And here he is. This is what he had to say about your film.
For me, what I've taken away, having seen it now, it's a very good film. I think it gets across some of the very key aspects of the work at Sobell House. Had a sense of the real love in the place, the level of care across all the different disciplines. And I think kind of the overriding sense that I came away with it was what a joyous place it was. You know, people living their lives to the full. For me, it's been very interesting. You know, hospices generally aren't places that you go to unless, you know, that's where your life is taking you, or the life of your loved ones. And so to actually have an insight, it makes it less frightening. I think makes those places very inviting and accessible.
Great endorsement of your work from Philip Selway, drummer with Radiohead, of course. Do you want to follow a career in film? Is that the plan for both of you?
For me, definitely. I've only got about 3 weeks of school left.
Is that all?
And then I'm planning to just go straight into it. So I'm setting up a little organisation with other creators in Oxford called Shutter Media, and we're kind of trying to just work our way into it. And Freddie's got a few years left, haven't you?
I've got a couple of years left. I'm in third year at the moment, but that would be brilliant if I could go into film.
Well, when you've got your Oscars and BAFTAs, come in here and show them off, is all I'll say to you. Excellent work. Good luck to you as well with your chosen career.
Yeah,
After 8, we'll speak to Dominic Caddier, head of fundraising at Sobell House Hospice. When can we see this film? Can we see it out there? Have you put it up?
It's live now. I think if you go to sobellhouse.org/film, You'll find it there. It's also on YouTube.
Yeah, just type in Sobell House.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Take a look. Good luck, guys. Thank you very
Perfect.
much for coming in this morning.
Thank
Freddie
you.
Marshall and Charlie Landells from Abingdon School. Thank you. Good to meet you both. Pleasure. 7:15 BBC Radio Oxford. Coming up in just a second, latest on the big international